Okay, the first 6 things we have written down are quick alternate picking exercises. So this way you can quickly increase the metronome speed a bunch. So just one suggestion, you could try, say after you've got done with that first one, you max out at a specific BPM, write down above that exercise how fast you got, and then perhaps move on to the next one. And so this way every time you come back around to it, you're able to try and beat that speed. So it's a good gauge on your progress. Typically when you first start learning how to use the metronome or working with the metronome on stuff like this, you'll see some pretty decent increases. You know, sometimes it might just be 5, sometimes it might be 10. It could be 20 beats a minute increase, but like I mentioned, sometimes you will have off days, so you know it's not a bad thing if you can't beat that speed the following practice session. As long as you're persistent with it, it'll pay off. All right, so just in case you need to hear them, I'll just run through one at a time, fairly slow. So here's the first one. Second one. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Let's do a better take than that. And the last one. Okay. And just to be clear, definitely treat each one of these separate. So let's say you start at the 60 beats a minute and you're doing the 3 notes beat. What you do not want to do is play all 6 and then increase it. Just stick with one exercise, max out on that, then move to the next one. Okay. So the riff after that, this. Not concerned about practicing that one because that was like the tester riff to see where you were at with hammer-ons and pull-offs. Hammer-ons look good, so working on the pull-offs, as mentioned, the big thing to keep in mind or to watch for is making sure that, so we have 3 notes for each group of pull-offs, right? So you got the note you pick, and then you pull off to the second note, pull off to the third note, okay? So get those 3 notes down before you pick, because the habit we're trying to get rid of is walking your fingers backwards. So make sure that all 3 fingers are down. So I would memorize what the riff is first. Once you know what the notes are, then start working with the metronome. So this way you can really watch your hand and make sure that you have all your fingers down before you start picking and pulling off. This way you erase that habit of walking your fingers backwards and build the good habit of having your fingers down, so this way your pull-offs sound better and are faster. The other thing is watch your wrist too. Sometimes your wrist will want to help you out with the pull-offs and twist a bit. So that's another loss of speed right there. So you really want it to be all in the fingers the whole time. So this is what it looks and sounds like, fairly slow. And when you're increasing the metronome speed, if you find yourself unable to tell if your fingers are doing the right thing or not, then you know you've gotten too fast and it's time to back it off a bit. And you might not get super fast at this right now, but that's okay because we're building a good habit instead of looking at it as building speed with this. So the last thing we did was the exercise to help train your fingers to stay closer to the fretboard. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up, and back down. So after you've come from the B string to the E string, don't play the E string again. Just start going right back down to the B string. So 5, 6, 7, 8 all the way. And we'll do it nice and slow here so you can see what it looks like. And make sure that your fingers are up on the tips enough, because when you're climbing up this way, if your fingers are not on the tip, you will have muted strings, and we don't want that. We want nice, clean sounding notes. Anyway, here we go. Once you get the hang of that, you can definitely practice with the metronome, something that I used to do quite often. Alright, I believe that covers it all. Yeah, just keep playing the scales every day, at least a few times as a warm-up, so this way you keep it fresh, and we can start talking about improvising and doing solos with all that stuff too next time. Like, we can start doing that. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you on Friday and do the hour class. Alright, see you then.